Anastasia Sergeyevna Pavlyuchenkova is a Russian professional tennis player and a multiple junior Grand Slam champion. Her career high ranking of world No. 13 was achieved in July 2011 and she is currently ranked 23rd as of the 27th of June 2016. From July 2007 to September 2009, she was coached at the Mouratoglou Tennis Academy in France. Pavlyuchenkova is a three-time Grand Slam quarterfinalist, reaching the quarterfinals of the French Open and US Open in 2011 and at Wimbledon in 2016. She has also won 8 career singles titles, her biggest coming at the premier-level events of the Open Diliff Suez and Kremlin Cup, both in 2014. Pavlyuchenkova has enjoyed significant success in doubles as well, reaching the quarterfinals at all 4 Grand Slams and having won 4 titles in the discipline, her biggest title coming at the 2013 Mutua Madrid Open where she partnered Lucy Safarova. Early career. Born in Samara, RSFR, USSR to father, Sergey and mother, Marina, Pavlyuchenkova first made headlines in 2006 by winning the Australian Open Junior title, defeating Caroline Wozniacki in the final. She reached another junior Grand Slam final at the French Open where she lost to Agnieszka Radwanska. She then won the US Open Junior title against Tamira Paszek and defended her Australian Open title in 2007 by defeating Madison Brengel in the final. Pavlyuchenkova played for the Sacramento Capitals of the World Team Tennis League in the summer of 2006. Her success in juniors enabled her to enter ITF and WTA tournaments, winning a small ITF tournament in Italy in May 2006. In October 2006, Pavlyuchenkova received a wild card into the Kremlin Cup but lost in the first round to rising Czech Nicole Vidisova in straight sets. She barely missed out on qualifying for the main draw of the 2007 Australian Open, losing to Julia Vakulenko in the final round of qualifying. Pavlyuchenkova then received a wild card into Wimbledon in 2007, but was beaten by 10th seed Daniela Hentukova in just 40 minutes, winning only 14 points. In 2008, she entered into Wimbledon as the youngest player in the ladies' singles tournament. She won her first round match against the 17th seed Alizé Cornet and went on to defeat Lena before losing to 11th seed Radwanska. At the 2008 US Open, the first Grand Slam at which she was able to gain direct entry, she won against American Vania King in the opening round in 3 sets, but was defeated in the second round by then world No. 15 Patty Schneider. 2009-2010 Indian Wells semi-finals, first 2 WTA titles. Pavlyuchenkova began 2009 at the ASB Classic as the 7th seed. She lost to Aravane Rezai in second round. At the Australian Open, Pavlyuchenkova lost to Italian Tatiana Garbin in the first round in 3 sets. The following month at the BNP Paribas Open, Pavlyuchenkova enjoyed a breakthrough where she made her first premier mandatory semi-final. Along the way, she had defeated the likes of Marta Domachowska, world No. 2 Yelena Yankovic, Karen Napnurio Klagostera Vives and world No. 10 Agnieszka Radwanska. However, she was defeated by the defending champion Anna Ivanovic. Pavlyuchenkova made her top 30 debut following the end of the tournament. At Miami, Pavlyuchenkova defeated Rezai in the first round in 3 sets but then fell to eventual champion Victoria Azarenka in straight sets. The following week, Pavlyuchenkova made her Fed Cup debut where the Russian team faced Italy but she dropped her match to Francesca Schiavone at the French Open where she was seeded at a Grand Slam for the first time. 27th seeded Pavlyuchenkova advanced to the third round of a Grand Slam tournament for the first time as well after defeating both Raluca Olaru and Julie Coyne in straight sets before losing to world No. 1 compatriot Dinara Safina at the Wimbledon Championships. 31st seeded Pavlyuchenkova reached the second round before falling to Roberta Vinci. At the US Open, Pavlyuchenkova lost to eventual quarterfinalist Melanie Oudin in the first round in straight sets. Pavlyuchenkova ended 2009 as world No. 41. Pavlyuchenkova started 2010 by reaching the last 8 at the Brisbane International where she was defeated by Ana Ivanovic. At the 2010 Australian Open, she lost in the second round to fellow Russian Svetlana Kuznetsova. At Dubai, Pavlyuchenkova made it to her maiden Premier 5 quarter-final after defeating Katarina Srebotnik, Tatiana Garbin and Daniela Hentukova. She then fell short to defending champion Venus Williams in straight sets. At the Monterrey Open, third-seeded Pavlyuchenkova reached the final by defeating Anastasia Sergeyevna in the last 4. In the final, she overcame Hentukova in 3 sets to win her maiden career title. Pavlyuchenkova was the 29th seed at the French Open. She defeated Alizé Cornet and Jill Craibers before falling to top seed Serena Williams in 3 sets. She reached the third round at Wimbledon after defeating Benisova and Roberta Vinci before falling to third seed Wozniacki. At the Istanbul Cup, Pavlyuchenkova advanced to the final after defeating Sorana Cirstea and Jarmila Gajdosova, and she went on to beat compatriot Elena Vesnina in the final in 3 sets to win her second career title. Pavlyuchenkova continued with a good run in Cincinnati. She defeated Daniela Hentukova and third seed Elena Demontieva to advance to the third round where she defeated 13th seed Shahar-Peer. In the quarterfinals she came back from a 1-5 first-set deficit to defeat 12th seed Yanina Wickmeyer to advance to her first Premier 5 semi-final. There, she fell to Maria Sharapova in 3 sets. The following week, she lost in the opening round of the Rogers Cup to Svetlana Kuznetsova in 3 sets. At the 2010 US Open, 22nd seed Pavlyuchenkova posted her best Grand Slam result at the time by reaching the round of 16. There, she lost to reigning French Open champion Francesca Schiavone in straight sets. Pavlyuchenkova's last tournament of the season was the Tournament of Champions in Bali. It was her debut appearance after winning 2 international titles throughout the year in Monterrey and Istanbul. However, she lost to Ivanovic in the first round. She finished the year in the top 30 at No. 21. 2011 Top 22 Grand Slam quarterfinals. Pavlyuchenkova opened 2011 in Brisbane where she was seeded 5th. Despite being pushed to 3 sets in 2 prior matches, she managed to reach the semi-finals where she fell to eventual champion Petra Kvitova. She cracked the top 20 following her good result there. The following week, in Hobart, Pavlyuchenkova was forced to retire in the opening round against Bethany Mattek-Sands. At the Australian Open, she was the 18th seeded and safely advanced to the third round after defeating defeating Kirsten Flipkins and Kristina Barwa before losing to Iveta Benisova in a tight three-setter. In Fed Cup competition, Pavlyuchenkova helped Russia rally from a 0-2 deficit against France by winning her reverse singles match against Alizé Cornet and tie-deciding doubles match, partnering with Svetlana Kuznetsova. The Russian team subsequently advanced to the semi-finals. At Dubai, Pavlyuchenkova had to play qualifying because of failing to meet the main entry deadline. She qualified for but fell in the first round to fellow Russian Eliza Klebanova in 3 sets. In early March, she defended her title at the Monterrey Open by defeating Jelena Jankovic in 3 sets in the final. She then reached the third round of the BNP Paribas Open, losing to 10th seed Shahar Peer. That was followed by a fourth round loss to 8th seed and eventual champion Victoria Azarenka in 3 sets at the Sony Ericsson Open in Miami. Pavlyuchenkova then helped Russia advance to the Fed Cup final by defeating Sara Errani in her rubber match. She began her clay court season at the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix where she lost to second seed Vera Zvonareva in the round of 16. She then defeated Zhang Ji, Marion Bartoli and Samantha Stosur to reach the quarterfinals of the Mutua Madrid Open where she lost to Julia Gorges. The following week at Rome, Pavlyuchenkova would reach the third round where she lost to third seed Azarenka in 3 sets. Pavlyuchenkova was the 14th seed at the French Open and reached her first ever Grand Slam quarter-final after racking in wins over Yaroslava Shvedova. Qualifiers Mona Barthel and Nuria Klagostera Vives and third seed Vera Zvonareva. She then fell short to defending champion Francesca Schiavone in 3 sets. She dropped her opening match at Eastbourne to Bojana Jovanovski. At the Wimbledon Championships, 14th-seeded Pavlyuchenkova was beaten in the second round by Nadia Petrova in straight sets. Her next tournament was the Baku Cup where she lost in the quarterfinals to Glina Voskobova. Pavlyuchenkova struck an incredible 27 double faults during the match. Pavlyuchenkova lost in the opening round at Toronto and Cincinnati to Maria Jose Martinez Sanchez and Flavia Pennetta respectively. She then reached the quarterfinals at New Haven but lost to Lina. At the US Open, Pavlyuchenkova was the 17th seed and advanced to her second Grand Slam quarterfinal after defeating Anna Tatishvili, Petra Martic, Jankovic and Schiavone. There, she lost to Serena Williams in straight sets. At Tokyo, she overcame Arantxa Rus in th first round but was then upset by Vania King in the following round in straight sets. Pavlyuchenkova then lost to eventual finalist Andrea Petkovic in the quarterfinals of the China Open in straight sets. Pavlyuchenkova then played the Generali Ladies Linz where she was the 4th seed but lost to qualifier Sorana Cirstea in the second round. She then lost in the first round at Luxembourg to Rebecca Marino. In the Fed Cup, the Russian team faced the Czech Republic. Despite winning her rubber match against Lucy Safarova in straight sets, the Russian team came up short in the end, losing the deciding doubles match. Pavlyuchenkova finished 2011 at World No. 16. It is the first time she finished a season in the top 20. Pavlyuchenkova had a dire start to the year. After losing to Gaia Kanepi in the second round in Brisbane, she went to win only 1 match in 4 tournaments between Sydney and Brussels, a stretch which included the Australian Open, Mutua Madrid Open and Internazionale BNL d'Italia. She then won back-to-back matches for the first time in the year at the French Open after defeating Hungarians Giaia Kutian and Melinda Zink before falling to Klara Koukalova. She dropped out of the top 30 after the French Open due to not defending quarterfinals points from last year. At the Aegon International, she lost in the quarterfinals to Koukalova once again. Pavlyuchenkova reached the second round at Wimbledon where she lost to Varvara Lepchenko in straight sets. At the Swedish Open, she advanced to the quarterfinals after overcoming Patricia Mayer-Akleitner and Silvia Sola Espinosa but subsequently lost to Matilda Johansson. She then reached her first final of the year at the City Open where she was the top seed. She defeated Bojana Jovanovski and Zink to advance to the last 8 where she overcame Chang Kai-chen. She then defeated 4th seed Vania King to reach the final. However, she was overpowered by Magdalena Rybarikova, winning just 2 games in the match. After dropping her opening match at the Rogers Cup, she reached the last 8 in Cincinnati. Along the way, she defeated the likes of Carla Suarez Navarro, Julia Gorges and 6th seed Caroline Wozniacki. In the last 4, she lost to Petra Kvitova in straight sets. Her ranking improved to No. 20 after the tournament concluded. Pavlyuchenkova defeated Daniela Hentukova in her opening match at the US Open where she was the 17th seed but was then upset by world No. 150 Kristina Mladenovic in straight sets. She then lost to Lina in the second round at Tokyo. Pavlyuchenkova then dropped her opening matches at Beijing and Moscow to Polona Hercog and Yaroslava Shvedova respectively. Her ranking plummeted from 24th to 34th after her loss in Beijing. She finished the year ranked inside the top 40 at No. 36. 2013 steady ranking. Pavlyuchenkova started her 2013 season by reaching the final of the Brisbane International, where she went down to Serena Williams. She had previously defeated 6th seed Petra Kvitova and 4th seed Angelique Kerber in the earlier rounds. She was the 24th seed at the Australian Open but lost in the opening round to Lesia Surenko. She then lost her opening matches at Paris and Dubai to Yanina Wickmer and Anna Ivanovic respectively. She then reached the semi-finals of the Malaysian Open where she lost to Bethany Mattek-Sands. After going winless in Indian Wells and Miami, she won her 4th career title by defeating Angelique Kerber in the final at Monterrey, which was her 3rd title at the tournament as well. At the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix, she defeated fellow Russian Ekaterina Makarova in the first round before losing to Kerber in straight sets. She then won her 2nd title of the year in 0 errors, beating Carla Suarez Navarro in final in straight sets. It was her 6th career title and her first on clay. However, she could not keep up this good form, losing in the first round in both Madrid and Rome. She then beat Andrea Livakova in the first round at the French Open before suffering a 3-set loss to Petra Setkovska in the following round. At Wimbledon, Pavlyuchenkova was seeded 21st but was easily ousted by Svetlana Pironkova in the first round, winning just 1 game. At New Haven, she reached quarterfinals after defeating Sorana Sirsia by retirement and 7th seed Sabine Lisicki. There, she faced defending champion Petra Kvitova. She lost in 3 sets. At the US Open, she was the 32nd seed and defeated a pair of wildcards Virginie Razzano and Ashley Batty to advance to 3rd round. She lost to Agnieszka Radwanska in 2 tight sets too. In Seoul, she reached her 4th final of the year after overcoming Francesca Schiavone in the semi-finals but lost again to Radwanska. At the Kremlin Cup, she reached the semi-finals after defeating Caroline Garcia, Maria Kirilenko and Daniela Hentukova but then lost to Simona Halep. She competed at WTA Tournament of Champions for the second time in her career as a result of winning international tournaments in Monterrey and Oeiras. In the round-robin stage, she recorded wins over Elina Svitolina and Alizé Cornet but lost to top seed Haller. Nevertheless, she advanced to the semi-finals, where she succumbed to fourth seed Samantha Stosur in 3 sets. Pavlyuchenkova finished the year as world No. 26. Pavlyuchenkova had a breakthrough year in doubles, partnering with Lucie Safarova, as she reached her first Grand Slam quarter-finals in doubles at the Australian Open, and also second at the French Open. They also won the Premier mandatory title in Madrid by defeating Cara Black and Marina Arakovic in final. 2014, 2 Premier titles. Pavlyuchenkova kicked off the season at the Brisbane International. After defeating fellow Russian Alla Kudryavtseva in the opening round, she retired against 5th seed Angelique Kerber with a thigh injury. She then lost to Alison Risker in the first round of Hobart in straight sets. Pavlyuchenkova was the 29th seed at the Australian Open and defeated Teliana Pereira and Mandy Minella to reach the third round, where she lost to eventual semi-finalist Agnieszka Radwanska in 3 sets. She then won the biggest title of her career at the Premier-level Open GDF Suez. Despite being unseeded, she overcame Francesca Schiavone in her opener and 3-seeded opponents Carla Suarez Navarro, Kerber and Maria Sharapova to reach the final, where she beat 3rd seed Sara Errani to claim the title. It was her first title indoors as well. She then fell to Mirjana Lucic Baroni in the second round in Doha. At the BNP Paribas Open, Pavlyuchenkova beat Caroline Garcia in her opening match but was then stopped by Alexandra Wozniak in 3 sets. This was followed by an early loss to Coco Vandevgen in Miami. Pavlyuchenkova beat Diana Marcinkiewicz in the first round at Porsche Tennis Grand Prix before falling to 2-time defending champion Sharapova in the following round in straight sets. At the Mutua Madrid Open, she defeated Maria Teresa Toro Floor and 6th seed Jelena Jankovic to reach the round of 16, where she lost to Anna Ivanovic. The following week in Rome, she drew qualifier Belinda Bencic in round 1 and lost in 3 sets. Pavlyuchenkova was the 24th seed at the French Open and overcame a second-set battle to beat Kimiko Daycrom in the first round but then retired against Kiki Bertens in following round. During the grass court swing on Eastbourne, she upset top seed Radwanska in the first round before losing Ekaterina Makarova in straight sets. Pavlyuchenkova then dropped her first round match to Alison Risker at Wimbledon. She was the second seed at Bastard but suffered a surprising loss in the first round to Grace Min in straight sets. Pavlyuchenkova reached the quarter-finals of the City Open after beating Virginie Razzano and Hiroko Kuwata but lost to Makarova. She then faced Venus Williams in the first round in Montreal and lost in 3 sets. Pavlyuchenkova then upset Australian Open finalist Dominika Cibulkova in the opening round of Cincinnati and went on to beat Karen Knapp to reach the round of 16, where she lost to Sharapova in straight sets. At the US Open, she crashed out in the second round, succumbing to wildcard Nicole Gibbs in 3 sets. After a first-round loss in Tokyo to Garbine Muguruza, she scored her first win over Ivanovic when she was forced to retire with a thigh injury in the opening round at the Wuhan Open. Pavlyuchenkova, however, lost to Casey Delacroix in the following round in 3 sets. She then retired against Jolin in first round in Beijing. Beijing despite having won the first set due to dizziness. To finish the year, Pavlyuchenkova played the Kremlin Cup where she was the 6th seed. She defeated the likes of Anastasia and Riska to reach the last 8 where she beat fellow Russian Vitalia Diachenko in 3 sets. She then advanced to the final after overcoming Katerina Siniakova where she faced Romanian Irina Camelia Begu. She won the match in 3 sets to capture her 7th career title and her equal biggest career title to date. She finished the year as world No. 25. 2015 slow start. Late season surge. Pavlyuchenkova started her 2015 year at the 2015 APIA International Sydney in Sydney, Australia. In the first round, she lost to Peng Shuai 1-6, 7-6, 6-4. Pavlyuchenkova was the 23rd seed at the 2015 Australian Open. In the first round, Pavlyuchenkova lost to Yanina Wickmeyer 4-6, 6-3, 6-3. At the 2015 Dubai Tennis Championships, Pavlyuchenkova lost in the first round to 17th seed and eventual finalist Karolina Pliskova 6-2, 6-4. Her results in the slam events were undistinguished, but she won a further WTA title in October at Linz, and made the finals at 2 tournaments, at Washington, D.C. in August, where she lost to Sloane Stephens, and at Moscow in the Kremlin Cup in October, where she lost to Svetlana Kuznetsova in the final. She also made the semi-finals at Baku, where she lost to Patricia Mouratoglou of Romania, and the quarter-finals at Cincinnati and Beijing, where she lost to Simona Halep and Anna Ivanovic respectively. She was part of the Russian 2015 Fed Cup team which challenged the Czech Republic for the title in November but was unsuccessful in her 2 singles matches. 2016 third Grand Slam quarter-final. Pavlyuchenkova started her 2016 year at the 2016 Brisbane International. She reached the quarter-finals by beating 5th seed Timea Baksinski and Alizé Cornet before losing to 4th seed and eventual finalist Angelique Kerber. At the 2016 APIA International Sydney, Pavlyuchenkova beat qualifier Lara Arruabarrena 6-1, 7-6 in the first round but lost in the second round to 5th seed and last year finalist Karolina Pliskova 6-3, 6-0. Pavlyuchenkova was the 26th seed for the 2016 Australian Open and lost in the first round to American Lauren Davis. Her results over the rest of the first half of the year were undistinguished apart from a couple of quarter-final appearances at Acapulco and St. Petersburg and a third-round appearance at the French Open where she lost to fellow Russian Svetlana Kuznetsova. At the 2016 Wimbledon Championships, she beat Chiesue Yulia Putintseva, No. 11 seed Baksinski and Coco Vandevgan en route to her third Grand Slam quarter-final. She lost to Serena Williams in straight sets. Career statistics. Grand Slam Tournament Performance Timeline current through 2016 Wimbledon Championships.